early or you stayed up late. Two seconds. There we go. Dun 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 dun. All right, everyone. This morning we have Canada CPI. It's a trap trade. We're going to go over the trap trade, make sure everybody understands how to put on a trap trade. Just to get started, how about everybody make sure you have the pre-trade checklist. The pre-trade checklist is in the file folder, in the trade room file folder. All right. One thing the pre-trade checklist has that's very helpful, you can just click on check time sync and it will check your computer's time sync. And if your computer is not in sync, you're going to go and download PT Sync or D4 Time. Those are the programs in the file folder. You're going to run those programs, one of them, on a fresh browser. And you're going to make sure that your computer is in sync. Every time you run time.is, every time you go to that website, you go there from a different browser. Don't ever use the same browser that you just used. Okay? It's very important that you use a different browser window, not the same one. Don't ask me why. Tell you why. I've just got music in my head this morning. Music all over the place. I'm a real believer in AI music as a tool, not as a replacement for being a songwriter or a musician. No different than using a website with news results to figure out what's going on with news results. Tools are tools. It doesn't mean you can't use the product in a proper way. Here comes the high of
So
the.
seeing cited by AP News here,
Hold on.
Iran willing to attend a second round of talks with
High
the
of the
US,
day
citing a
test based on the
Pakistani
fact that
official.
Iran is
AP
willing
News
to
citing a Pakistan
come
official.
to another round of talks. That's what caused that little spike. Everybody get on your chart. 6C, 626, 6C, 626. That's
Also
our
got a
Canada.
US Energy Intel Bureau Chief backer on X as well, saying
That's
that
our
they are
Canada
willing, in response to Iran willing
instrument
to
that we're
attend second round of
trading.
talks with the US.
The next instrument for Canada would be 6C 0926, and we're nowhere near there. So we know we are on the right contract. There's another really clever way that Ninja Trader will help you find the right contract. Let's say you don't know the contract name that we're trading. No change in trading hours, right? No, only for grains. Only for grains. Um, this morning, oh, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. What was I just saying? Oh, if you don't know the contract, but you know the prefix, Ninja Trader will help you find the correct contract to trade. On a blank spot on the chart, just a blank spot, you can start to type. So if you know the prefix is 6C, just type 6C and nothing else. Nothing else. And then it will list all the contracts with the prefix 6C. and you're going to use the future. Now, there is a list where it sometimes says future all stocks. You just need to use futures. Double click what you believe is to be the correct contract, and it will put that correct contract on your chart. So if you didn't know natural gas contract today, but you know natural gas is NG, you type NG, and then notice how it lists whatever contracts start with the two letters NG. And you double click the one you believe is the correct one, and it will put that instrument on your chart. And no, we're not trading natural gas today during the Canadian CPI. We're going to type in 6C, click on future. There is a micro for Canada, but there's no liquidity on the regular instrument, so I do not recommend trading the micro. Now, a lot of things we haven't checked in a long time. So why don't we look at that micro? Because I haven't looked at it in a very long time. That's the truth. Let's look at the volume on the micro. So we have this little template that analyzes daily volume and days until rollover, thanks to Brian from Ireland, who now lives in the UK. Been a long-time friend of JOBB, the newstraders.com 10-minute trades. Brian's been here almost as long as I've been here. And he had a great idea. We love our members' great ideas. We steal our members' great ideas and give them credit for them. What do we say we're going to do? We're going to add M6C. That's what we're looking at. The volume on M6C. So here's the instrument. Now that's strange. Let's do that again. It should have put M6C 326. That's the one I wanted. So I never entered. How do you enter an instrument? Tools, instrument list, click on futures, click on add if you know the contract, M6. If you don't know it, same thing, just type the first two letters. There it is. And now we've added M6C 326. Right click. Let's see. That's very strange. Sometimes things are wacky with technology. Let's go to the market analyzer. We'll bring back our market analyzer. We're going to right click it. Remember I was talking about how I hate my mouse? I hate my mouse. I got to get a new mouse today. We're going to add an instrument, future M6C. Very funny, very weird. I'm not going to spend more than one more minute on this because it's not important. Futures add M6C 0626. No, that makes no sense. One more time. M6, there it is. Let's add it. It's already in the list. That's what I thought. Okay, I just want to check the volume. That's all I'm trying to do here. And it isn't working, and I'm not going to spend any time on it. Trust me, M6C does not have a lot of volume, but it's not coming up with the right contract. 6C 0626 is what we're trading this morning. 6C 0626. Okay? 6C 0626. I'm also going to look at gold, GC 0626, or you could look at micro gold, which is a nice instrument to look at, MGC 0626. MGC is a great instrument to trade for lower risk than putting a lot of risk on with regular gold. Regular gold could move
White
30
House's
ticks
Hassett
in an
says
instant.
Trump's post reflects progress on Iran.
What's a trap trade? A trap trade is a trade where we expect the news to be released and then we expect a reversal to take place. We trade when the news is released, but we try to make our money when the reversal is taking place. All right? Going to right click the chart, and the first thing I'm going to do is put a reverse continue on the chart by clicking News Trader, changing the trade type from breakout trade to reverse continue. I'm going to throw two contracts up there, a 25 tick target and a 30 tick stop. That's my reverse continuation. I'm going to label it down under setup. I'm going to label it 6C reverse continue. Every setup you do, every setup gets a reversal. All right? Every setup gets a reversal. Every one. Please don't forget that. Every setup gets a reversal. And this morning we're going to trade in a healthy prop account that I'm trying to get funded. Trying to pass the eval. We're about halfway there. So that's the account I'm using on Canada this morning. Apply it. Okay. I'm having a login issue with our cash account for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Anybody else having any login issues with the Ninja Trader cash account? All right, now I'm going to right click the chart, click trap trade, and we're going to set up our trap trade. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. That's how many contracts you're trading for each tier, each bracket. Our activation is going to be 8:29:55. That's Eastern time. Always use your local time for the times. Always use your local time for the times, okay? If you're in Central time, don't use my time because I'm in Eastern time, or all your trades will activate at the wrong time. If your computer is set to the exchange time, then use that time, okay? Most people are going to use local time. 8:29:55 is our trigger. Our stop is 25 ticks. Tier 1 is 16. Tier 2 is 25. We're going to label this Canada
New York Times
Trap.
reporting that the Trump administration is going to begin issuing tariff refunds. So to begin refunding $166 billion in tariff refunds.
Canada Trap. And then I'm going to put it on account number 35. All my Canada trades on the same chart will be set to the same account because they're not all going to be traded at the same time. You can't trade different setups in the same account on the same instrument at the same time. It will screw up your
Update from the New
trades.
York Times is now on the feed for those interested.
But you can certainly put the setups on the same chart and trade them when it's appropriate to trade them. So first things first, we have our reverse continue, and that gives us our instant long, instant short button. All right, that's very simple. Our trap trade. Now, the thing to do is when you enable your trades, enable the trap trade first. Check the box enabled for the trap trade first. Make sure along the top of your chart you see your trading buttons. BE is the break even button, close the trade button, adjust the tiers button, cancel the outer tier button is the most important button. Combine your orders. If you can't see the cancel your outer tier, it's probably because your chart's too narrow. Make sure you can see the cancel the outer tier button, because if you take a trade and it doesn't fill both orders and you need to move your stop to safety, you might have to cancel your outer tier so you have a place to move your stop. Otherwise, your orders from the original trade, tier 2, will be in the way. I will talk through the trap trade as I'm trading it. All right? I will talk through it. So one more time, let's set up the reverse continue and the trap. Right click the chart, click strategy. We already have our reverse continue, so I'm going to highlight it. Otherwise, I would double click news trader and turn the trade type to reverse continue. I'm trading a couple of contracts. Generally, I don't tell you how many contracts to trade. I don't tell you what your personal risk should be. That's your decision. Okay, it's not mine. If you're new, just trade one contract for each position as a general rule. Don't go crazy if you don't know what you're doing in the beginning. Learn first. So we have a target of 25 on a reverse continue and a stop of 30. A reverse continuation is a discretionary trade. We're going to decide to place it by pressing a button. And then you choose the account you're trading it in. I'm trading it in my prop account number 35, and give the setup a name. Label it. It's the most important thing that we're going to do. When you're done labeling it, apply it and OK it, and the trade will show up in the control panel of NinjaTrader, and it will have a name. Make sure that your name field up there is wide enough so you can see it, and make sure your account display name is wide enough so you can see it. We're going to enable our reverse continue. Nope, we're going to wait before we enable our reverse continue. We're going to do the trap setup. Right click the chart, click strategy, double click trap trade, highlight the trap trade. Position 1, how many contracts on your first order tier. Position 2, how many contracts on the second order, or tier as we call them, TIER. Our stop is 25, but our activation time is 8:29:55 Eastern Time. Tier 1 is 16, Tier 2 is 25. Tiers are a little small,
In 10 minutes' time now, at the
and we're
bottom of the hour,
labeling it
the Canadian CPI
Canada
data for the month of
Trap,
March, year-over-year,
account
forecast
number
2.6%, on
35,
the prior
apply it,
1.8,
okay it.
month-over-month, forecast 1.1% from the
Spread your
prior week
chart a
so
little
far.
bit, because trust me,
Bank of
when
Canada's
the
core
trap
CPI,
orders come on the
year-over-year, spot
chart,
prior
you don't want
2.3%,
your chart
and
too
month-over-month,
tight or
spot
they'll
prior
be all scrunched
0.4%.
up.
The Canadian CPI breakdown sees the trim at 2.3%,
If you
unchanged from
set
the
your
prior.
time
The
to
median
zero
unchanged
on
at
any
2.3%,
trade, you could
and
see
the
where your
column at
orders are
prior
going to show up.
2.5%.
But you want to
Canadian
do
core
that on
CPI month-over-month
SIM.
to a prior
So if you
0.2%
do
as
that,
well.
make sure your account is on SIM, not on your prop account or your cash account. And make sure your chart trader is on the right account. This is chart trader in the middle here. That should be on SIM. And now when we try to enable an account that's on SIM, it will generate our brackets early because the time is 0. If I remembered to set the time to 0, highlight the trap trade, set the time to 0, the first two numbers, and you can see where your tiers are going to show up on the chart if you were trading right now. Now, that's not going to be the same as 10 minutes from
Order
now, but it's
submitted.
still helpful because you could shrink your orders so you can see everything. And this gives you a very good idea how your trade management is going to be. The orange arrow is the current price when the orders went on the chart. Make
Hasset,
sure
so
you
as
can
Trump
see your
said that Iran
cancel
peace
outer
talks will
tier
happen.
button. So we have an idea where our trap orders are going to be. All right, where are tiers? Uncheck it.
Order canceled.
We're going to go back to strategies, trap trade. We're going to put the time back to the correct time, 8:29:55. Our stop is 25. 16 and 25 on our two tiers. Tier 1, 16. Tier 2 is 25. Choose the account correctly. Label the trade, Canada Trap. Apply it. OK it. Put your chart trader on the account you're using to trade. And now I'm ready to go. I've got my Canada Trap trade. I've got my Canada reverse continue. It's a little bit early for magnet on Canada. Canada has very low volume this time of day. But remember, we do have a micro gold chart in the middle. I'm going to throw a reverse continue on that chart on micro gold. Change the trade type to a reverse continue. Two contracts. It's $2 a tick. Profit target will be 50. Our stop will be 50. All right. And we're going to label this GC reverse continue. All right. And right now I'm going to trade that in a prop account number 40. Now that prop account has a huge profit because last night at the market open, I went long right at the open because the market crashed down and I got like an instant profit of $1,000. So I'm just working on that account. You know what? Let's put it on a fresh account, an account that's on zero. An account that's on zero. Let's put it on account. Let's see if we can put it on account number 29. That's what we'll do. 29 is just a run-of-the-mill prop account. So our reverse continue is on account number 29. So what do you have to remember to do? You have to remember to make sure your chart trader is on account 29. Otherwise, you won't see the orders. Check up top. Are you on account 29 in the account display name? If I am, I'll enable it. When I enable a reverse continue, I get two buttons. Instant long, instant short, because reverse continue is a discretionary entry. And I'm also going to throw a gold magnet on the chart. Double click magnet, high of day, low of day, I'm going to make it.
So in 5 minutes time now
I'm
at
going to
the
go to
bottom of the hour,
position
get the
size
Canadian CPI data
2.
for the month of March. Year over year,
Negative
forecast 2
3 is
spot
my
6%,
default
on fire
target.
1 spot 8. Month over month, forecast 1
Everything
spot
else
1%, on
I'm going to
fire 0
go
spot
to
5.
default
Bank of
except for
Canada's
my
core
stop.
CPI year over year,
My
so a prior
stop's
read
going
of
to be
2.4%.
50.
The month over month, so a prior
And I'm
read of
not going to program the
0.4%. You
buttons
also get
this
the
morning.
Canadian
We'll
CPI
explain that
trades
later when we
forecast
have
to
more
remain
time.
unchanged at
Just going
2.3%.
default
The
on
median to
everything
remain
except
unchanged at
the
2.3%
stop
as
is
well. The
50.
common saw a prior read of
Magnet trade
2.4%.
enabled, high of day,
Canadian
low
core
of day.
CPI month over month saw a prior read of
Choose the
0.6%.
amount of contracts you want to trade. Position 1. Target 1 tick offset. Default is negative 3. That means if gold gets 3 ticks away from the magnet, high or low, it'll fill. And then we will trade this on account 29. We said we're trading gold. We're going to label it MGC magnet strategy. All right. And we're ready to go almost. We're going to apply it. Okay it. Turn on the magnet. Our orders will show up. And I'm not trading the gold magnet at this moment. I'm just watching for signals and I'm moving my orders slightly should we decide to actually trade the magnet. Right now, I'm just watching it, all right? We're going to pay attention to Canada trap trade. Gold, as I said, we're just watching. I'm going to turn the high of day, low of day off, and we're just going to watch for signals at the moment. If I got a gold signal, which interestingly I did before we were looking at it, gold made a new high right before we turned it on. That was a very nice signal that you could have taken an instant short on. You have support from the momentum on the squeeze, candle support, price action,
So from there
made a
to
new
receive
high,
closed
pulled
here
off of
a
it.
quarter on X.
I'm
The
not
second
going to
meeting
chase
between
it
Israel
now.
and
Now we're
Lebanon
going to
to expect on
concentrate
Thursday in
on our
Washington, with the participation of Ambassador Leiter and the
Canada
Lebanese
trap
ambassador
trade.
to the US.
And we are going to stay here through all the market opens. All right. We're going to stay here through the market opens. Author, every chart I put a reverse continue on. Every chart, almost every chart, I would put a magnet on. I think that this week's webinar, I'm going to do a new quick start. That means everybody should come to the webinar with your questions. It'll be a quick start question session. I think that's what we'll call it. I like that. Quick start session questions. It's a tongue twister. We have a lot of new people. Everybody needs a
1 minute
refresh.
remaining for the Canadian CPI data.
In a minute, we'll talk about why that was a phenomenal short signal. So in 25 seconds, our orders will show up on the chart. 5 seconds before the news is released. Now, look, Canada CPI, it could blow through our stops. It's possible, but its history has not been
10 seconds.
showing that that's the way it behaves.
Order submitted.
Okay, there's our
2
orders.
spot 4%, 2 spot
The
4%,
news
lower
is
than
out,
forecast, 2 spot 6%, month over month, 0 spot 9%, 0 spot 9%, lower than forecast, 1 spot 1%. Bank of Canada's core
and
CPI year over year,
it's
2 spot
fairly
5%,
close to
month
what
over
was
month, 0 spot
expected.
2%. The
It's
CPI
not a
trim, 2 spot
gigantic
2%,
difference, and
2 spot
that's why we're
2%,
not
lower
getting a
than
very
forecast, 2
big
spot
move.
3%.
We
Core
shrunk our
CPI month over month,
tiers,
flat
all
real
right?
0%.
That's the one
Median
thing
at
I'm
2 spot
saying
3%
here.
as
We
expected.
shrunk our
The common at 2
tiers,
spot
and we're
6%.
still not seeing very much of a move today. My finger
Weakness in the
is on the
Canadian dollar following
cancel
the cooler than
trap
expected
button.
Canadian inflation data.
Normally, I would give it a minute before I would cancel a Canada trap trade. There's no movement. This is a canceled trap. It's a canceled trap. You can cancel it right now.
ENI
There's no
and
movement.
Repsol plan to double gas production at the Venezuela field.
So we've seen some no movement trades more than normal. Definitely, I believe it's related to the war markets. You can cancel the trap trade by
Order
unchecking the
canceled.
checkbox. If you get a 4 tick move, there's nothing to reverse, so you don't have a trap trade. What's a trap trade? It's a reversal of the news move. Last month, we had a good reversal. It wasn't giant, it was 16 ticks. Now, the reason I didn't want to put the magnet on for Canada, is because we're right in the middle of the ranges. We're right on the VWAP. The high of day is right above us. The low of day is right below us. You can
We
get
have posted the
a
Canadian
weird
CPI March
signal
report on the feed for those
or
interested.
an invalid signal, and I don't want anybody taking trades when it's not a good time to take one. This is not a good time to try and figure out, is Canada long or short? I mean, the news is better than expected. Let me just see if all of it's better. No, not all of it's better than expected, to be honest. I'd say we have a little bit of mixed news. The year over year is better. The month over month is better. The core is worse compared to the previous. The medium is a little better. I'd say overall the news is better. Overall the news is better. And we're just not getting any movement from the Canadian futures. And we didn't get much movement from gold. The other instrument that I might look at, I'm going to get rid of my Canada chart. We don't need the Canada chart. I always like to look at the ES 0626 to see if the ES has a move on any news. Now at 8:30, the ES had a candle that went up. Oh my goodness, 11 ticks. An 11 tick candle, and then the next minute it pulled all the way back 9 ticks. Um, Not really this is just not a tradable report today, everyone. That's what happened. As I said last month, it was a tradable report. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. Usually, Canada CPI is a small, barely tradable report. That's how I'd put it. A small, barely tradable report. Okay? So we don't need our economic calendar at the moment. We're going to put our RTY chart back on, right? We're going to set our charts up for the morning open. So let me narrow them a little bit. Set them up. So I had the most miserable day yesterday. Sunday mornings, I almost always, go to my son's house. He has twins, and it's just so much fun, twin grandkids. And we have breakfast and play with the kids and just have a lot of fun. And
Kuwait declares a force
I
majeure
got
on
there and I
oil
couldn't find
shipments
my phone.
from on the Hormuz halt.
And every now and then I'll just leave my phone home if I get up early and I just don't put it in my pocket. I wind up going over there without a phone. It can happen. It's easy it's not a big deal. It happens more often than not. Or I'll put it in the wrong pocket, take a different
There's a New York
jacket.
Post reporter on X
I
here.
get
They're
home
saying a
and I
Pakistani
can't find
forces
my
pushed
phone.
back on the Iran
And I
refusal
go into my
narrative,
car and
saying
I
that Tehran's
turn
hard-line
on,
stance is
make a
posturing to
phone call
exact
myself because I have
maximum
a backup
advantage when the
phone
second round happens.
with an
So
extra
that's
SIM.
citing
I always have
reports
an
of
extra
Foreign
phone.
Minister spokesman, again, a New
And
York Post reporter
no
on X
ringer,
here,
nothing.
signaling that the diplomacy
Look
team
all
is
over my
ready.
house, look in my pockets. I threw out some clothes, went through the garbage. I was looking for my phone for more than an hour. I called. I don't know about you all, but I've got some very serious security stuff on my phone, files and things that if someone got my phone, they could steal my identity very, very easily. Very, very easily. So I called my phone provider and canceled my phone number because all my texts, all my logins are tied to my phone, right? Aren't yours? Aren't all your logins tied to your phone? Give me a text to your phone. That's all my logins. My two-tier, what do they call it? Two-step authorization, whatever the heck you want to call it. Two-step, three-step, I'm dancing the steps if you got to log in. So I called a company, and I use a crazy company. So here's double story. I use a company called Tello for my phone service. They use T-Mobile towers. There's certain things I'm not a cheap person, but there's certain things I cannot pay for. Disney,
Sky News reporting
vacations,
that a
that's
U.S.
one of them.
military aircraft arrives
And
at
another
an
one
airbase in
is
Pakistan.
cell phone service for like $100 a month, $80 a month. I cannot do that. It goes against my personal DNA. So all my life, I'm always looking for great deals on cell service. I was a Mint subscriber for a while. I was a T-Mobile subscriber when T-Mobile was cheap, when they weren't a major provider. T-Mobile was a startup. They were a renegade, if you remember, going back
China's Healy Feng says that
many
China
years
and the
ago.
US have
They were a
fostered a
renegade, like
cooperation.
Mint. Now, Mint is not a renegade anymore. Mint is it's pretty much a major company now. And their deals aren't that great anymore. They start you cheap, but then they raise you real quick. Anyway, long story short, I can't find the darn phone. I can't find the phone. They have a Find My Phone app, and I didn't set it up, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, my identity. I'm gonna have to spend the whole day changing passwords. And I looked in my car again. I tore my house apart. I tore my office apart. No phone. I went back to the car. It was pouring out. No phone. Now, I realize in retrospect that I should have known. There was a way that I could have known where the phone was. But I'm also an idiot. And when someone calls me, I pick up my phone. I have a folding phone, but doesn't matter. I pick up my phone all the time without paying attention to it when it's on, and I wind up turning things on and off like crazy without knowing. I change the settings all the time on my phone like crazy because I'm a lunatic and I just don't pay attention and I just press the buttons. It is what it is. It is what it is. And it's not because I don't have an Apple phone. I'm not an Apple phone user. It's an Android phone. And I like folding phones. I like advanced phone technology. Apple's living in the past. I'm not an Apple phone user. Can't find the phone. I call up. So I use this company called Tello, Tello. I pay $14 for cell phone service. Shout out to Tello. I get through to them in 1 minute. And I ask them, would you please block my phone number? And no problem. They blocked my phone number. Only problem was, and I didn't know it at the time, I have two numbers, right? Because I had to be able to call them. Because of my job and all the things I do, I keep a backup phone. It's important to make sure that people can reach me if something should happen. Long story short, I didn't know it. I figure I'm safe. They blocked the wrong number. They blocked the wrong phone number. So had someone nefarious got their hands on my phone, the number wasn't even blocked. Nothing was blocked because the guy blocked the wrong number. Fortunately, I found that out. I decided one more time, it's got to be in the car. It has to be. Got a flashlight. It was jammed so tightly into the seat that it looked like a piece of the car. And that's why I never saw it. It was jammed into the car. 2 hours I spent looking for the phone, changing passwords, blocking numbers. It was so stressful. I just couldn't believe that it was jammed into the car. And when I called myself, it never rang because when I was picking the phone up by accident, of course, I'd put the phone on Do Not Disturb mode. So Genius had the phone on Do Not Disturb, so when I tried to call it, even though it was in the car, it didn't ring. So I never heard it. It wasn't on vibrate, nothing. I am watching the ES. Looks like a long magnet. Might be getting ready. But long story short, I found the darn phone. I hate the phone now. I'm ready to order a new phone. I need a new backup phone because my backup phone is broken. It can't be trusted. That's the one thing I learned also. But just make believe you've lost your phone and make sure that you have all your security moves in place so that you can function. If you can't find it, that would be my advice. That would be the lesson learned from this stupid story, right? And yes, you can set up the backup phone. Ray, you're so much smarter than me. Honestly, I mean, I just had my backup phone. I was just happy I had a backup phone I could call with. I wasn't really thinking about setting it up, doing all these fancy setups. Ray is the king of fancy setups. If there's a problem, Ray's the guy I'm going to. Maybe RD, might be going to RD also, but I'm going to, going forward, make sure find my phone is on. I'm also going to make sure that my backup files are not on my phone, that I have them on my computer. And I'm also going to make sure that my second phone works really well. What else am I going to make sure? I'm going to make sure I don't lose the phone because it's not lost. Had I just looked at my radio in the car, I would have known that my Android Auto was on and the phone was in the car because it was generating satellite maps, even though it wasn't ringing. So even though it was on Do Not Disturb, it was generating satellite maps. Dumb story, huh? Dumb story from a dumb, foolish person. A foolish person. All right. That's my goofy story of the morning. Canada trades, those strategies are being removed. Right click, remove. Right click, remove. Keeping gold on just for a minute. I'm going to add, the ES is making that high. I'm going to add our RTY chart back onto Ninja. Now I am having, this is a morning of problems. I'm having a problem in that I can't log in to our cash account. I don't know if I blew up the account by accident last night and didn't realize I was trading on that account and I went to zero. I told you I made like $1,000 trading last night in one of my pop accounts, and maybe by accident. The only thing I can think of this morning, I cannot log in to my cash account. The only thing I can think of is I accidentally took that account to zero. But if that was the case, should still be able to log into it. So, in all honesty, I just cannot log into my cash account. I'm just getting an ID error. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. Fortunately, we have our prop. Everything seems to be working fine on prop. So I'm expecting a normal market open trading wise. RTY 0626. All right, that's chart number one on the right. We have an RTY chart. We're going to put a reverse continue on the RTY chart. Just real quick. News trader, reverse continue. Right now I'm starting one position with a 35 target and a 35 stop. We're going to label it RTY reverse continue. And we've got the account I'm trading the RTY on will be a funded account number 67. I think that's what I'm going to do this morning. Funded account 67. We have two funded accounts right now. 67. All right, let's move over to oil all the way on the left. Even though I'm not recommending an oil trade at the moment, CL, and I'm looking for my futures. Double click CL, and the correct contract is CL626. Let's put a reverse continue on that chart right away. Click News Trader, change the breakout to a reverse continue. Position 1 is a 1, target 1 is 25 ticks, stop is 25 ticks, reverse continue on oil, label it CL, reverse continue, and we will trade that in account number 39. I'm going to double check it. Let me double check what account. I want to trade this in my worst account because oil breakout on the open is not a good
Wall
trade.
Street Journal reporting
It's
that
not a good trade.
Adobe is to team up with Microsoft, Anthropic, and OpenAI, as well as NVIDIA.
Account number 29 is a run-of-the-mill
Adobe are to
prop
launch
account
CX
that we should be
Enterprise at
able
an
to
event on
use
Monday, according to the Wall
for
Street Journal.
this. So we'll do it on account number 29. Right
This is
click,
Adobe releasing their AI
strategy,
agent platform at its annual
highlight
event
it
today.
on account number 29, not 39. Apply it, okay it. So we have a reverse continue on account. Make sure your chart trader is on that account. We have a reverse continue on oil on this chart here. All right, reverse continue. Throwing a magnet
the piece from the
up
Wall
on
Street
oil.
Journal on the feed for those
Throwing a
interested.
magnet up on oil. And you can use a micro oil also. Micro oil is great. MCL. Great for scalping. Nothing wrong with using micro oil if you don't want to use regular oil. So I meant to put a magnet on. Let's do it the right way. Double click magnet. High of day, low of day. Magnet enabled. We're doing high of day, low of day. Position 1 is a 1. Target 1 is -3. That's default. And our stop is going to be 30. One position. If you're going to add a second position for a magnet, you might want to put a position on if it goes through the magnet. Do I want to take a second position? Right now, I'm keeping things simple this morning. One position, target of -3 is default, stop is 30, scrolling all the way down to the labels under setup, and we're going to call it CL magnet. CL magnet. And all our magnets are on, what do we say, 29? Account number 29. Remember, you're not going to trade them all at the same time. When you turn on a magnet, fun stuff happens. You get your orders. All right, your orders line up like our short. And if you want to move your order entry, you can. So I want to be below 70. I don't want to be below 60. Maybe I do. But there's not enough profit if I'm below 60. So I think below 70 works pretty well. If price goes down below 70. Now, one of the problems, oil's bullish. All right? Oil's bullish. On the indicator, if you go to net change display and put it on points, because oil moves in dollars, right?
S&P
Points,
500 futures are pairing
10
losses ahead
ticks a
of the
dollar.
open.
It's up $2.87. I'm not dying to jump into shorts. Okay? I'm not dying to jump into shorts. Ray, I accidentally traded the count, blew like $1,000 of the profit, and now I can't take a payout.
Iran's press TV reporting that Pakistan's interior minister met with the Iranian embassy, or went to the Iranian embassy, and met
Ray,
the
I'm just kidding.
ambassador for
I'm just
Iran.
kidding.
They discussed possible
I
arrangements for the
did put
second round
in
of
for a
talks with the
payout.
US and
I
the need
did put
for
in
a
for a
lasting
payout, so I'm
diplomatic
waiting to
solution
hear.
to ease tensions. Iranian press TV
Everything was done over the weekend. So if I get a payout, I will be retiring. I will be retiring. That was the only goal I had left in life, was to start taking payouts in our prop accounts. I'll keep everybody advised, I promise. So we've got, unless I don't get the payout, if I don't get the payout, I'll make believe I forgot all about it and we'll never hear about it again. We do have high, a long order up top. I'm not trading a test of the low. If I wanted to, well, I'll just turn it on. What the heck? Lose some money. It's a prop account of no regard. If we want to test the low, I would turn the auto on, right? The reason I'm not dying to trade it, I'm probably going to let it trade. The reason I'm not dying to trade it is because we're 7 minutes from the open. You're better off wait till you're 10 seconds from the open, and if you want to try to see if you can get a decent fill on your prop trade account and at the open, which is not always a guarantee. Sometimes oil moves pretty wacky at the open. I'd rather wait for the open. All right. Micro gold looks like it wants to do a VWAP magnet. It made a high of day magnet. So I'm just keeping an eye on it. Usually we're watching the YM at this time of day, but we did some testing on the 9 o'clock gold trade. We did some testing this week on the 9 a.m. gold trade. So I'm just going to do a couple of crazy things this morning. We're watching oil, right? We haven't taken a trade. The breakout on oil doesn't work. So I'm not putting a breakout on oil. So it might work this morning, but overall it's an event that doesn't work well on the breakout. So we made a decision. Let's not throw our money away on bad setups. So I'm not even going to set up the breakout this morning. But if we get a magnet, I'd rather get this magnet here to work closer to the open. I don't want to go short before the open. Okay? I think going short is a good opportunity at the open because a lot of times you see a change in direction on the oil open, even if it's just for a few minutes. We do see that happen. But what I'm going to do is put full size gold, GC 0626. I'm going to do something crazy. Watch this setup. And I don't know if I agree with it. It's a breakout trade. It's 8 it's 8:59:59. I don't think you can get away with a bracket at 10. That's the problem, but that's what our testing showed. If you can get away with a bracket at 10, you can have a fantastic trade, possibly at 9 a.m. Now, Nitin would probably argue with me. It's his trade. He has a bigger bracket, I believe. But we just did some preliminary testing. I'm leaving it on sim. All right? I'm leaving it on sim. Because regular gold is quite a bit of risk. All right? I would use a 30 bracket, 25 to 30 bracket. And let's get it labeled properly. It's GC 9 a.m. is the label. I'm going to leave it on sim this morning. I don't know if I can get a bracket of 10 going. My stop's going to be 25. If the market moves 20 ticks in my favor, let's do 15 ticks in my favor. Move the stop to break even plus 12. I'm trying a one contract setup. I'm doing it in sim. Let's see what happens. GC 626. I just have my eye on oil for a possible test of the low. So, Nitin, what we saw with the bigger bracket is just a bunch of moves that don't get filled, but didn't do enough testing yet. We just didn't have time to do significant amounts of testing. So this was very preliminary. These are not our normal opens. I just want to make it clear this morning. This is not my normal open. Now, see, we're getting close to the magnet. Not to the magnet, to the open. I'm putting my magnet on auto because if it decides to open short and then go test the low, I'll let it. It's not my favorite trade. Why? Because oil's so darn bullish. I'm not dying to go short against the overnight trend. I don't like doing that generally. We will do it at times. All right. Now you can still look at a gold magnet, but let's wait until 9 before we do anything except watch our gold breakout. There is going to be a gold breakout at 9. One of the best and most enjoyable things about being in a community is trading setups. And if you all have a setup that you love, tell us about it and we will test it. We will try to hone in on it and try to even make it better. Not that you aren't right. You might have the best setup, but we will, if it's a good setup, we'll test it for you. We'll vet it and try to adjust it and see if we can make it an even better setup. Sometimes you guys have a great setup and we adopt it for the room. It's so good. RTY. Langford has a
The
great
effective Fed fund rate
range
is
trade
unchanged at
on the RTY. It's been
3.64%.
fantastic. A lot of us are trading it. So now we're looking to see if we get a test of the low on oil. So my magnet is on, but I'm almost more curious about what's going to happen at 9 a.m. for this gold trade. Now, this is a gold trade that you don't always enter instantly. Sometimes you might wait to enter it. And honestly, it looks like a 10 bracket may be safe.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Very quick fill, pull back, chop a little bit. Now, the stop should really be,
Order filled.
now I got grabbed making my stop bigger. I would have gotten stopped no matter what on this trade. This morning I would have gotten stopped. Now, however, that small bracket caused a losing trade. So I'm leaning more towards the bigger bracket. I'd rather not get filled than get stopped out. I'd rather not get filled than get stopped out. Correct me if I'm wrong. When Nitin's done trading, he can let us know that he was pulled in short and he probably made money. Whereas my test was a stop because the bracket, while it was safe, it was not safe for making money. It was safe to enter with a 10 bracket, but a bracket that small can put you on the wrong side of the trade. Now, also, gold is very negative today. that can have a factor at times on a gold scalp. What direction do you want to be trading? I prefer trading in the direction of today's trend. Also, right at 9, the trend was, the momentum was down on the squeeze also. So, interesting test is what I would say. It's why I didn't want to put it in a prop account yet today, because for us, it was preliminary testing. Oil, which is extremely difficult to trade in the war world we're in right now because of volatility. All right, because of volatility. We did not have a short test, which I would not have been dying to take anyway. Why? Oil's too bullish. Oil's too bullish. Turning off my oil trades at the moment, right? Just turning everything oil off for a minute. If you look at oil on a 15-minute chart, which we usually do before the event, what's interesting is while oil is bullish today, it's really consolidated. Really, it's really chop. It's really a lot of chop since 10 o'clock last night. But it was a weird open yesterday, and that's what's thrown the markets off this morning. Okay. Yesterday's open was very negative for many instruments. Not saying all, but for many. And it makes trend trading subject to extra analysis. You need to just look more carefully at what you're doing. Oil, just looking at oil on a 15-minute chart, to me, it's not really negative or positive. It's a little bit stronger on the negative side, even though oil's up more than $3 since 6 p.m. Okay? So to me, oil could trade in any direction this morning. Any direction. But it's looking more recently bullish than bearish at the moment. However, we're done with oil. This is not our main instrument for the morning. We dabble in it at 9 o'clock, but we're done with it. So let's go to our MNQ 0626. Let's get back to regular life. I'm going to remove my oil magnet. I'm going to remove my oil reverse continue. Unfortunately, I'm going to reset the SIM account back to 0. Right click on SIM, edit the account, reset, clear history, yes, okay. Back to strategies, and our SIM is back to 0. I'm not going to be on oil or gold in the middle, so we're going to remove all our setups at the moment except RTY. Remember, we set up an RTY, reverse continue, so we're going to leave that. Let's go in the middle, and we're going to go back to our YM. YM 0626. That's what we do most mornings. We trade the YM in the middle, MNQ on the left, RTY on the right. And things have been going very well doing that. I'm going to restart our video. We are streaming. If someone that's watching us on YouTube would say hello, for heaven's sake, just say anything out there. All right? Say hello. Let us know you're watching. Let me just save this video. We'll start a new video. We'll do the market open. And then maybe we'll stick around a little bit for some signals. We'll have some fun. It's a Monday. It's kind of a quiet Monday. Tomorrow, the fireworks begin. I recommend that you get up and join us in the trade room tomorrow morning, 5 minutes, 5:30 Eastern Time, in the morning. That's all I'm saying. Join us. Join us. Welcome everyone to the Pro Trader and Plus Market Opens. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director for 10-Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. Now, I would say that tomorrow's earning trade is a guaranteed loser. It's a guaranteed loser. Good morning, David. Thanks for saying hello. It's a guaranteed loser, tomorrow's earning trade at 5:30, because it's been a winner, I think, for 3 years running. It's never, I don't ever remember having a loser on this particular earnings trade. So it's got to be a loser tomorrow. And that's what I say every quarter. And every quarter it's a nice winner. So, it is what it is, everybody. There's risk in everything we do. You think there's not risk? There's risk. Everything we do. Let me show you the biggest risk that I take in my life every day. If I could find it. I don't think I could find it. Darn it. I can't find it. I'll show you my biggest risk. Oh, well. I don't know where I put it. 2 more seconds. Oh, I found it. Here's the biggest risk I take in my daily life. Riding my scooter in the city. When it's cold, I wear a hoodie, and if you put your hoodie under your helmet, your face doesn't get cold. All right, everybody. Markets are opening up because I'm sure they're talking about
Senior Iranian official says positive efforts are underway by
positive
Pakistan to
efforts
end the
are
US blockade
underway,
and ensure Iran's participation in talks.
and
So again,
Iran
a
is going
senior
to take
Iranian
part,
official
so it may
says
be
positive efforts are
difficult
underway by
to
Pakistan
trade these
to end the
opens,
US
everyone.
blockade and ensure Iran's participation in talks.
It may be
Weakness in
difficult
WTI
to
crude
trade
strengthened
these
the S&P
opens.
500
Nothing
here.
I can tell
Senior
you.
Iranian official says Iran
Now,
is
in a half
positively
hour from
considering
now,
participation in the
we
peace talks
should
with the
get
US.
a
No
more
final decision
normal
has been
chart.
made
So I'm
yet.
going to set up my normal trades, and I'm going to probably take my normal trades. We have a half hour. All right? We have half an hour. So we're going to set up our normal trades, and you'll do what you think is safe. Okay? You'll do what you think is safe. If you're worried, don't trade in a funded account. Trade a regular prop account, where if it goes bad, what's the worst that could happen? Maybe you wait for the account to rebuild if it's an eval. Maybe you pay a reset fee. If it's Bullinox, it's a $39 fee. That's not very much. Maybe you buy a new account for
Give a moment to
$19. You want to
Iranian
buy a new account?
TV. About half an hour ago now,
Let
I
me
think
give
we
you
shared
our
saying something
Bullinox.
similar here, citing Pakistan's interior
Let
minister,
me give you our
also covering a
Bullinox.
key article earlier,
I'll
which
give you
said
the
something along
code.
these lines as well.
It's
But let's
like
get the
19
confirmation now
bucks
from an Iranian senior
for
official
Bullinox.
talking to the major news wires.
Give me half a second. Normally, I don't ever do this, but I'll do it this morning. Here's our link. Use this code. And it's 19 bucks for a $50,000 account. All right. I'm probably going to add one. This sale is over the 21st at midnight. MNQ. Right click the chart. Right click the chart. Double click News Trader. We have a reverse continue. We put that on every chart. Couple of contracts. We'll do a target of 100 and we'll do a stop of 100 this morning. All right. That's our reverse continue. And I'll trade the MNQ. I don't even know where I'm trading this morning. Let's label it MNQ reverse continue. And I'll decide in 1 minute where I want to trade my MNQ. I'll put an MNQ magnet on. double click strategies, double click magnet, high of day, low of day, position size is up to you. Okay, target 1, -3. Always leave target 1 as -3. If we go through the magnet, I'm going to go through 20 ticks, and my stop will be 100. Position 1 contract if we go through the magnet by 20 ticks. All right, don't forget target 1 stop move. I like to make it BE for break even if my first target gets filled. And I think we'll trade the MNQ in account number 35. Let's do that. Account number 35. Our MNQ magnet. Everything MNQ will be 35. MNQ magnet. And that's a good prop account. It's an account I like, working on getting it funded. Apply it, okay it. What happens when you turn on a magnet for high of day, low of day? You get your orders. Now, I don't want to be filled yet. It's too early. We're too close to the high of day, low of day, right? It just made new highs. So I'm not dying to get filled at the moment. All right? I'm not interested yet in taking a trade. So right now I'm going to turn off on my targeting control panel off. And it just turns off my high of day, low of day orders. Doesn't turn off the trade, just turns the orders off. So they're not annoying me. Going back to the strategy and my reverse continue, we're just going to put that in the correct account to trade. It's on SIM. I'm going to put it on 35. And now I'm going to load my breakout for the MNQ open. All right. I have a template for trading the MNQ open. Right click, click strategies, go to template.
US say that their Navy conducted
Before
operations
I
in
do
the South
template,
China
we're going to
Sea
go
on
to
April
news
12th to
trader.
18th.
Now I'm going to go to template because this is my third strategy on this chart. Load. I'm looking for MNQ new open. All right, I have a million templates. MNQ new open. There it is. Right click it, rename it, today's date. What's today's date? The 20th. Load it, it'll save it, and load our template. Our template is 929.59 at the time. That's our bracket. Our orders go on the chart 929.59. I'm going to set my first two numbers of the time to 0 because we're going to check our bracket. The width of it, 35 is the bracket. First target is 40, second target is 125. My stop is 125 at the moment. We're going to make it 150. So my setup this morning. Right now the time's on 0. Our bracket's 35. I have the number of contracts I want to trade. That's up to me, the amount of risk I'll take. Target 1 is 40. Target 2 is 125. My stop is 150. $75 a contract roughly on the stop. We know it can blow through that. It could be double that because the opens are fast. And target 1 stop move, I use break even. If it hits my first target, I'll stubbornly move my stop to break even automatically. We label the trade breakout MNQ open. Just make sure every setup has a unique name that shows up in your control panel. Right now the account's on SIM because we're looking at our bracket. Under optional, I am turning off the vertical line on entry. Do not show it. Uncheck it. And put your chart trader on SIM so you can see your bracket with the proper width. Spread your chart a little
Order
bit.
submitted.
And there we
Order
have,
canceled.
I need a little bit wider on my bracket. I don't want an all scrunched up bracket. All right.
Order submitted.
I want a bracket that allows me to see clearly while I'm trading.
Order
All
canceled.
right. So we have 3 setups on the MNQ. The breakout. Put the time on the correct time, which is 9:29:59. Brackets 35. I'm using targets of 40 and 125. You can use 30 and 100. You could use 30 and 50, 20 and 50. The targets, they're not in stone. They're just guidelines. All right. And we're going to scroll down, not making any other changes at the moment other than target 1 stop move. I set it to be E. If my first target gets hit on the MNQ breakout, my stop will automatically move to break even. All right. The account I'm trading in, what do we say? On the MNQ, we're on account number 35. We're labeled breakout MNQ. You could label it MNQ BRK. Apply it, okay it, and now make sure your chart trader is on the account all your software is set to trade on, which is number 35. So we're ready for our MNQ trades. Now I'm turning off all my MNQ setups for a minute. What you want to do when you enable your trades, always enable the magnet first so that the buttons show up properly. Then I would put my breakout on, and now I'd put my reverse continue on. That way you should see all your buttons properly. So now we're just waiting. We have our YM. We're going to right click our YM chart. We'll do our normal setups on the YM. First, we'll throw our magnet on the YM. High of day, low of day. Go down to position size, 1 position, target 1, -3. That means if you get to the high of day or the low of day, 3 ticks before you get there, that's your exit. That's your target. To stop, 45 on the YM. And this morning, we're just trading 1 position. Let's go for 2. So we'll add position 2,
Israeli
and we'll
media just
go
repeating that second round of talks between Israel and
15
Lebanon
ticks
will
through
take
the
place
magnet.
on
All
Thursday
right.
in
That
Washington.
means we're
It was
going to do
picked up from
target
the
1
major news
stop
wires
move
now, but we
BE.
did cover this from some reporters on X earlier this
If we
week.
hit our first target, we want to move our stop to break even on the YM magnet. Then we'll scroll down. We're going to label it. I'm not programming any of my buttons this morning. I'll show you how to do that later. YM magnet. And we do have to choose an account to trade the YM. First, let's apply it. Let's find us an account that we can use this morning that we like. Now, I have 1 funded account that I'm trading this morning. And I'm going to use that on the RTY. So let's trade account number 29 on our YM. Let's get this account built up. I mean, I'd rather trade 40, but I made a whole bunch of money on that account last night. So I want to trade an account that's set to 0 so you all could see a 0 account. So that's why I'm choosing 29 this morning. I've only got a couple of prop accounts right now to trade because we're trying really hard to fund and to just trade. I only want to trade funded accounts as soon as possible. I'm tired of just fooling around. We'll use 29 today on the YM. So we're set for our YM magnet, high of day, low of day. There's our orders. All right. You can hover over the magnet button to get your long order. We're buying it 490. It's about a 20 tick target. It's not the biggest target in the world. But right now, I think it makes sense to target the high or the low. I don't think we're going to get a test of the low this morning. Even though we're negative, there's been a lot of positive news. So we'll see if the market turns that into an open to the north, to the long side or not. But our magnet is set up on the YM. So we're going to leave it where it is right now. We're going to add our YM reverse continue. You can program the magnet buttons to have a YM reverse continue. There are buttons inside the magnet. Very easy to set up too. Highlight the magnet, go down to reverse continue, position 1. I'll put 2 contracts in there. We'll do a stop of 35. Well, it's the open. We'll do a stop of 40. And we'll do a target 1 of 40. All right. Couple of positions. And that's actually, we've got our reverse continue program. But you can't label it because it's labeled YM magnet. All right. It's labeled YM magnet. What account did we say on that YM? We're going to trade our YM on number 29, a 0 account, right? The markets are pushing up. Number 29 on our magnet. Would I let the YM magnet fill me now? I might. I might. Market 29. Now we're going to put on a reverse continue real quick on the YM. Let's get cracking. Time is passing. Reverse continue. Couple of positions. We'll do a 50 target and a 40 stop. Not 140. A 40 stop. And we'll label it YM reverse continue. And we're on account number 29. Apply it. Okay it. Let's turn everything back on. Our magnet. Our reverse continue. Make sure your chart traders on 29. Make sure your YM, your NQ chart trader is on 35. All right, let's make sure everything is set right. Not sure I want to fill my YM before the open. Let's get over to our RTY range trade. Click News Trader. Change it to a range trade. I'm going to load my
The US Post
template and
reports
I'll
that
talk through
US
the
Vice
setup.
President Vance and the US delegation are to land in Islamabad within the hours.
RTY range is what I'm looking for. Here's the RTY setup. Range start time, 9:25:00.
So the
6
article reads
ticks
that
above the
President
range.
Vance and US
6 ticks
delegation for
below the
peace
range.
talks
Show the
deals
range
with
graphics on
Iran
chart
are
is
en route
checked.
to Pakistan, with
Up to the
expected to
top.
land within hours, according to Trump
Range
on
trade
Monday,
must be
saying in the New
chosen.
York
It should
Post,
be
adding that he was willing to meet with senior
9:30:00.
Iranian leaders if the
Position 1
breakthrough
is a
is
1.
reached.
Position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10. Target 2 is 20 normally. Stop is 35. Target 1 stop move break even. RTY trading in our funded account. $67. Apply it. Okay it. Let's make sure we're in the right account. 67 is correct. Make sure you're on the right account. 67. Make sure in the account display name you're on 67 for RTY. RTY, turn on your range trade. It's already calculating because it's past 9:30. All right. It's past 9:30. I do put a magnet on the RTY. We'll put a quick magnet on it, maybe for after the news. Magnet, high of day, low of day. Just going to do a one position, default target, 35 tick stop.
So I
Label
posted
it
the article from the New York Post on the feed for those
RTY
interested.
magnet. 67. All right. Apply it. Okay it. And let's put them on in the right order. RTY range we have. RTY magnet. We do have an RTY reverse continue. Make sure everything's in the right chart and account. Put on our magnet first. Now our YM filled early. Probably should have let it. All right. Probably should have let it fill because it's going to work. But it got me before I was ready. And frankly, I don't like trading the open 1 minute, 2 minutes before the open. I'll let our RTY
This headline
trade
now from the New York
turn
Post is giving some
off
wider
the magnet.
circulation
I'll
here,
just let
seeing a
the
little bit of
RTY
strength in this
range
period of
trade do
weakness
its
in
thing.
WTI crude. As
We have
again,
an
it's the New York
RTY
Post reporting
reverse
that VP
continue.
Vance and the US
I would
Fed
not
chairman met
have
in
taken
Islamabad
this
for talks
YM
within
high
hours.
of day, low of
And in
day.
this, New York
Turning it
Post
off.
article,
It's too
Trump said he is willing
close.
to meet with senior
And it's
Iranian
not the
leaders
right time
if a
of day
breakthrough is reached.
for me. It's probably going to work fine because we're probably going to test the high. But right now, I'd rather watch the YM. I'll trade my MNQ. We have our RTY. The range is calculating. The YM, if I had been watching, I might have let it fill, even though it's not my favorite setup, to set up before 9:30. But like Nitin is saying, there is a lot of movement at 9:25 going forward into the close. There is a lot of movement. I don't think I want a short trade on the MNQ, to be honest, this morning. The news is too bullish. But I'm just going to let it do its thing this morning. I'm just going to let everything do its thing. I'm not going to try and guess. I want to punch myself over the YM. Now you just have to wait. You're not going to trade a high of day. You're making a new high of day. Okay? Okay, here comes the setup on the MNQ.
Order submit. Order filled. Order filled. Order
All right,
filled.
tried to expand my targets. Couldn't do it. Target one and a pullback.
Market
Very
down
normal on the
2.9 as the
MNQ.
S&P
Beautiful
500 sell
trade.
side
Notice I
130 million, buy
expanded my
side 100, sell
target
side of
on the
15 million.
RTY this
Delta FE
morning.
sell side of 10 million,
YM,
Mag 7 sell
now
side
we're
of
just going to
16
watch.
million.
We got a perfect YM trade, but it was early. So the YM magnet did the high of day, low of day. I'm not, I'm getting rid of my breakout on the MNQ. Everything was a winner this morning that we took. We took an RTY in our funded account and our RTY range trade is over also. So I'm going to remove it. RTY is removed, our range. Now I'm just watching. All right, now I'm just watching. We've got MNQ, we got our breakout, made money on the MNQ breakout. You want to be careful. I mean, this is a hard morning to take short signals. I mean, it is what it is. There's very strong, Trump said, I'm willing to meet with senior Iranian leaders if a breakthrough is reached. Vance landed in Islamabad. Now, Wouldn't it be crazy if some other country grabbed Vance and put him in jail under their internet, under their laws, that he's a criminal? No different than what we do, right? Someone could grab Vance, given the rules of conduct that we have set. Someone could grab Vance, call him a criminal, and put him in jail in their country. Those are the rules of conduct we have set. All right, RTY, just watching. I'm probably done in my funded account. I'm probably done in my funded account. I made my target bigger, so we made 25% more
Again,
money.
reporting that Lebanon and Israel are holding another round of talks on Thursday. So again,
That was the
further
RTY
confirmation from
range.
this. Heard this
That
from
was the
multiple sources
RTY
now.
range. My MNQ, I'm willing to trade the MNQ. I'm just not jumping onto a short yet. Not
Chinese
jumping onto a
parliamentary
short
speaker
yet.
Berry says that there is a U.S. effort to extend the
Roz, your
ceasefire between
RTY
Lebanon and
Live
Israel.
didn't fill.
This is coming
Did
from a
anybody else
newspaper citing
trade RTY Live? Live cash. Anybody else? Trade RTY Live. Nitin, did you enter your YM early? The mistake I made this morning, full transparency, is not entering the YM early. All right? YM should have been entered early because it was very bullish news. I'm just too conservative. I'm definitely too conservative. The YM, no problem entering it early. Would I take a short now? I'd be extremely careful this morning because all this bullish news makes it harder to get good follow through on a short. Doesn't mean you won't get a signal that works. You might get a perfect signal that works. You could put the MYM on your YM chart, right? Let's put the MYM on our YM chart. Let's have some fun this morning. What do you say? MYM. Let's update real quick our strategies. All right. MYM magnet. Just making my target. Just making my stop bigger. Also, let's see if we could get this done in time to maybe take a trade. Trying to go as
U.S. oil
fast as I
pairs
can.
gains hit an intraday low around $87.
See if we can do it. My label might not be right. Okay, we didn't get we have a signal. See, there's a short signal. Are you dying to take a short signal in this market? I'm not. I'm not. Now, I also got it late because I was setting the trade up. So right now I'm going to wait. It looks like the MNQ wants to make a new high, but I'm not jumping. I'm not jumping yet. It's very bullish news, though, that we got going on today. If you're going to
Order
do it,
submitted.
I'd put my stop below all this structure here, right? And see if we can. It's really just a test of the new high. That's all it is. But what I would do is try to move my stop to safety. If I can get my stop to safety, I'll do that. If it goes up, if it goes up for another test of the high. What I'm looking for, might as well make my target bigger before so I don't have to fumble around. So if we get our a move towards this high, if we get a move towards this high, I'll move my stop to safety. Now remember I said this is a It's a good prop account, but nothing terrible will happen to it if this trade doesn't work. If the trade doesn't work, my life is not going to end on this account.
IEA's Birrell says IEA oil reserves could be tapped again if needed.
My gut feeling is we may have missed some of the best moves, right? I mean, we caught some of them, and we may have missed some of them. Did I say missed? We may have missed some of them. I think the best moves, the RTY Open and the YM Open, were great. All right. Are we going to get more push to the upside? These markets, they might be a little bit tired on the upside. They might be tired on the upside. Now, I never changed my chart on the YM. I changed my software so we wouldn't see the orders if we take a trade here. We would not see the orders. Looking to see if we could get some push on the MNQ. I don't like my MNQ setup. I really don't. It's all working against me. It's definitely working against me. It's pretty choppy. It's pretty choppy also. So just as a recap, that account was up 30. It was up 30. But I definitely think it's going to stop on this change in direction. So you could exit this trade early. It's too late to exit early, in my opinion. It's too late to exit early. I would not add a second contract, right?
Order
I would
filled.
not add a second contract, but I might be interested in a VWAP test, right? It might be an interesting VWAP magnet if it decides to keep moving down, all right? Or you could do a PP test. Got to get it done quick, though, if you're going to do it. That's my setup. Is it going to go down to the PP?
Order submitted.
Or am I going to just get trapped in NQ chop, MNQ chop? I want a test of the PP, right? And I have a second order going through it. If I can get my stop to safety, I'll get my stop to safety, but I'm just seeing tremendous amount of chop out of the MNQ, right? It's a lot of chop. How does the market know where our entries are? How do they know? How does the market know where our entries are? Don't they always know? They always know. So just watching on the MNQ, I'm just getting caught on the wrong side of everything MNQ, but I want a slightly bigger stop, maybe above the previous candle wick, two candle wicks. I like the stop better. I don't think it's going to work. It just seems like we're stuck in chop on the MNQ. So I'll probably stop trading the
IEA's Birrell
MNQ.
says global energy markets may be volatile
Too
now for
choppy
2
for me.
years.
The most important trade this morning was the RTY open. That's in a funded account. That funded account is nicely moving towards a payout, but it's not nearly there. We need $1,600. Needs a lot. So you just have to be patient. The one thing we've realized, unfunded, treat it like a cash account. Be patient. Don't do anything foolish in that account. If you do foolish things, you will lose. Don't revenge trade in that account. Don't do anything foolish in that account at all. Treat it like a true cash account. I mean, really, every account should be traded like a true cash account so that you create good trading habits also, right? You want good trading habits. So I'm just stuck in MNQ chop this morning, not getting, we already got our follow through to the downside, right? We already got it. So it doesn't look like we're going to get it again. I don't think we're going to get it again. So just watching the YM. So every morning you wind up having a regret, right? My regret this morning was not taking the YM long before the market opened. That was a big trade, and that was a good, solid trade to take. That was a good, solid trade to take. So who else traded? Type in what you traded this morning. Type in what you traded. Who took a trade? Who watched? Who took a trade? Did anybody? No one else took a live trade on RTY that got filled? Nobody took an RTY live trade that got filled at the open? Roz is the only one that tried. Live
According to
money?
The Hill, Trump sees gasoline prices coming down when the war ends.
Oh, brilliant statement. Brilliant statement. Gasoline prices will come down when the war ends. Maybe. Depends on supply and whether the strait is open or closed. I'd rather not be in this MNQ trade, to be honest. It's not it's not working to the downside. It's just notice how it's chopping and it definitely has more energy on the upside at the moment. And we got screwed on our original upside
IEA's Birrell says fuel problems
MNQ.
to start moving to Europe.
So just watching, all the indexes are kind of pushing up. So this MNQ will probably fail. just watching. Watching the YM making new highs. Now the RTY is on my funded account. I don't do much scalping on funded accounts. Okay? I don't do a lot of scalping on a funded account. So it's making new high after new high also. Now eventually there will be a short signal, and it takes a lot of guts to take a short. It takes a lot of guts to take a short when the market is very bullish like this from news. From news. There's your short signal on the
France
RTY.
Press TV says the US is not serious about talks and will face decisive response if it repeats past
If I
mistakes.
wanted to take that short, I would just press the instant short button. My stop would be above the high. Now, this short, of course, it could work. It could work. But like I said, this RTY account, I want to build it up. I don't want to scalp it. I could change the account. If we're going to hang around for another half hour, I could change this account. So my RTY reverse, right? My RTY magnet, we could change over to what account could we change to?
Order filled.
So we could go to 29, see if we can get some of this back, or put it on 35, see if we can get some back on 35, apply it, 35, apply it. That's our troubled account this morning. Right now, not seeing any setup I want to take. If we put our RTY magnet on, we are getting signals. Now, we can't buy a break. Can't buy a break on the MNQ. I'm not going to trade the MNQ anymore. It's too choppy. Too choppy. All right? Too choppy. MNQ. MNQ. Let's take a look at MGC on that chart. 0626. See what gold's looking like. Right now, gold's been making new highs. That RTY might have been a decent signal on that short, right? Look pretty decent. MNQ, we have to change the strategy to MGC, all right? At least have to change the name. I'm okay with the setup. But it's an MGC. Apply it, and then our reverse continue also is an MGC. Apply it, okay it. Okay, we could turn them back on now. Now my RTY reverse continue. I don't think I changed that account. Let's change that account for scalping. I did. Okay, 35 on that. Our magnet. Let me check. I know you can't see this. I'm just checking my accounts. All right, RTY is on the right account. Micro Gold. It just recently made new highs, okay? So I'm not jumping into another gold high. Also, there was a short signal off the high. Ray, I think for me, if that YM, the magnet triggered about 2 minutes. If you were using the magnet triggered 2 minutes before 9:30. It really could have been just one continuous trade. It could have been. Now, just you can see everything is hanging around the highs, right? The MYM did give a reversal signal. And did I never set up a YM reversal? For some reason, that setup needs to be redone. Let's put it, it's too late now. It's making its move. MYM, reverse continue. I want to put it on the chart. Couple of contracts. 100 on the stop.
ECB's Pereira says Europe, between the ECB's baseline and adverse scenarios,
Target
and says
100.
economic damage of the Iran war has yet to show. And Pereira says the economy was resilient before the war began. So again, comments from
All right.
ECB's Pereira in
Now
one
it should
second.
work. All right. There's our reverse continue. Now those signals are late. I'm not
IEA's
jumping
Birol
into a
says even if
chase.
Hormuz
All right.
opens, the
Not going to
markets are
jump
going to
into a
remain
chase.
volatile.
All you needed was 4 minutes before the open to turn that magnet on. Before the market opened. So let's say you screw up, right? You don't have to try to revenge trade your back into profitability. I mean, I'm tempted to do some revenge trading on this 35 account that killed me with the MNQ scalping. But I'm just trying not to be compulsive, right? I'm trying not to be compulsive. The RTY just made another new high. I have that account set there. You did see how you got a short signal off the high. It's not ready. And notice you don't have real smoothness on the trend. Here you have nicer smoothness on the trend. It's consolidated price. It didn't really follow the trend. That gives you a heads up that this market is probably not a good short market. It didn't follow the trend at all to go down. This market probably will do better to the upside, right? That would be my guess because there's no trend following. Do you want to take a shot?
Order submitted.
See if you can get another test of the high. Stop well below structure.
IEA's Birol says the Hormuz Strait has lost its status as reliable.
So see if we could get a little bit of push up, or am I going to get caught in another push down? Let's see if it'll go back towards the high or not. Micro gold's pretty choppy also. Micro gold's pretty choppy. So now we've got some movement toward the high. I'll try to make my target bigger if I got the opportunity and move my stop to safety,
Birol says the world won't
right?
be such dependent on Hormuz in the future.
I want to move my stop to safety, but it's not there yet, all right? It's not there yet. There's not enough profit. Not enough profit. RTY is starting to push. It's just pushing, pushing. So now we could expand our target, move our stop to safety, just right under the wick. If it doesn't work, it's just not going. I didn't want to get that close. I did not want to get quite that close. RTY is on fire. RTY is on
Order
fire.
filled.
So just a
S&P 500
tiny,
continuing
tiny,
to pair pre-market
tiny
losses now
scalp there.
around flag
Tiny scalp.
conversation.
Gold, it's pretty slow for gold, truthfully. That's pretty slow movement for gold. I want to relabel this trade. This is not labeled. It just says news trader. That's why you want it labeled RTY, reverse continue. All right. RTY, reverse continue. There it is. Not RTY. That should be YM, reverse continue. Let's label it properly. Highlight it. YM, reverse continue. Finally. So we have a YM reverse continue. We do have our gold. Gold's really just chopping around. RTY was push, push, push. Now it's at the new highs. Now it's at the new highs. Now you just got to watch the RTY. Just got to watch it. Then you're thinking to yourself, do I want to take a short on the RTY when we get our short signal? It's coming up. The short signal is going to come up when we get a momentum change. It's a lot of risk. It might be ready. It might be ready. I might do it. It might be ready. I wish it would not sell on this candle, though.
Order submitted.
Let's see if we could get a little bit of a scalp out of this, or if it's just going to work against us. The minute we got in, the momentum went against us. But it's been making new high, new high, new high, new high. It can be exhausted. So you could move your stop to safety when you get a chance. Right now, we're not ready. It's not enough profit. Top of the candle might be too tight. Too tight.
Order filled.
Too tight. So now we gotta wait. Now we gotta wait. But look, it's green. The son of a gun's green. I still think. So your stop is at the top. It's at the top of it's above the high of day. It looks like it still wants to keep going. What do you think? So there was our trade.
Order
There
submitted.
was our trade. Your stop is still the high of the day. All right. The stop is still your high of the day. I'd like to get $100 scalp out of this. That's what I'd like to see. $100 scalp. Now, if I can move my stop to safety, I'll try again. I'll try again. The RTY worries me. It's been so bullish. All right. It's been so darn bullish. Move to safety plus a tick. All right. Or two. So now if it pulls back up and pulls us out, we tried. All right. We tried. It's very bullish. Here we go. Now, why not make your target bigger? Trail, top of the candle. All right. See if we could finally get this sell off. Trail a little bit. All right. Keep expanding your target so you don't get caught. So now we'll just try not to get too tight. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Nope, it's going to come pull us out right here.
Order filled.
All right, we gained about 100 so far on that account. Trying to get it back. Now I would wait. Now I would wait. We did a couple of scalps, made a little bit of money. Now I would just wait. It's now a tired signal, right? It could, of course, it could still sell off. We might have missed the best part of it, right? But I don't want to jump here because it's a little bit too much of a chase even for me. All right, just watching gold never got back to that new high, right? It never got back to that new high, micro gold.
So PBS reporter on X, Trump says that bombs are going to start going off when asked about Kushner's interest in the Middle East. So that's Trump telling a PBS reporter here that if the ceasefire expires tomorrow, then lots of bombs are going to start going off.
Notice the RTY. Not an easy morning to try taking shorts. Gold was
So on
chopping.
PBS, Trump, when asked if Iran's doing talks, says, I don't know.
Gold was chopping. Gold was chopping. Now maybe it's going to start following the downward move after the short. Now, interestingly, that short signal was excellent, right?
The PBS article is on the feed for those
It
interested.
wound up being an excellent short signal. Let's say you take it at a bad place. We got all the way to here. 81 gold ticks is a nice trade. It's not that much on gold these days, but that's not a bad trade. All right. Ray, I'm reading what Nitin. I'm reading what you said. That's hilarious. How
And
many
PBS
times?
says, we'll discuss nuclear weapons with Iran at talks.
How many times do you trigger the wrong account? It happens. It just happens where you trigger something on the wrong account and you double your contracts, and sometimes you double your profit, and sometimes you double your loss. Crazy things happen. These are not super easy scalping markets right now, folks. Not easy scalping. Gold. Look at the YM. Why it's not easy to scalp. It's just in I call that a chopadation. It's like a choppy consolidation. That's a chopadation. And then the RTY was a good long
Information
trade,
reports that OpenAI are to release a new image model in the
and it was
coming
tough
weeks.
on the short side. Definitely tough on the short side, the RTY. I'm not a lover of scalping the RTY in general. Let's just for fun, let's take a look. I'm turning off my RTY, reversal and magnet. Changing the chart to the ES. I never scalp the ES. Turning on the ES magnet. I can leave the setup similar. I'm not that worried about the setup. But we need to change the name. So let's do things moderately right. Okay. RTY reverse continue is now an ES. All right. So let's at least call it what it is. Let's triple check our setup. Okay, I don't have a problem with the setup. And then the ES magnet, Let's make that a proper label. Not an RTY
We have
magnet,
posted
it's
the
an
article
ES
from the
magnet.
information on the feed for those interested.
All right, so let's watch the ES for a few minutes. Turn on the magnet, turn on the reverse continue. Now, we can turn on the high of day, low of day magnet if we want to, right? Are you going to jump into it? Now, our orders went to the wrong place. So you got to give it a chance to just redo its thing, turn off. It'll stop blinking in a second. So the ES looks like it wants to make new highs again. But I just started looking at it. Am I going to jump into a trade in 1 second after just starting to look at it? No, I'm not. I'm going to watch a little bit, see if I can get a minor feel for the ES. Are we selling off here? Are we going high? Higher? I'm thinking we're going down a little bit. A little bit of a retrace from this morning's bullishness. Maybe, right? No matter what, I'm not quite ready to jump in. Maybe you're going to get a PP test here. It hasn't tested it though. The last ES, well, it tested it at the open not that long ago. So that's a possible test. The question is, do you think the ES is taking a break from new highs? You got momentum on your side, price action on your side, all the indexes on your side. Signal's a little late, right? Signal's a little late. You don't have to rush into anything.
So seeing from a CNN correspondent on X, just responding to the New York Post article about Avance being hours away from meeting in Pakistan, says these comments appear to be premature and the vice president hasn't actually departed for Pakistan yet.
Now all the news that's coming through is very, very chaotic. First, they're saying that Vance was getting ready to land in Pakistan. Now they're saying he didn't even take off for Pakistan. So a lot of that might create uncertainty in the markets, might be why we're not getting the strong follow through right now. You know, you see the MYM trepidation. Gold looked like it started to head down a little bit, and then it's trepidation again. And the ES literally just started watching it, so I don't have a feel for the ES at the moment. It made a 10 o'clock breakout or breakdown. It made the new high before 10 o'clock. So now you're just getting some normal retrace, but again, these are not easy markets. Are the markets ever easy? Gold looks like it's pushing to the downside. And it feels like the ES is pushing. Where would you put your stop for the ES? It's a pretty big stop, right? That's the problem. Your stop has to be pretty big. Normally, it's above the high. That's a very large stop. It's a very large stop. It does look like the markets want to retrace a bit here. Do you want to risk it?
Order submitted.
I would be happy with, a little scalp. Just a little scalp would work for me here. Oh, I put
Order
my,
filled.
all right, I'll take a $80 scalp. I didn't mean to do that. My mouse is funky. My mouse is funky. Got to replace that mouse this week. So I'm going to turn off. Now, is the PP a good magnet? I prefer the VWAP. PP is a little bit close. I may be done for the morning. We're made a little bit back in that prop account. Had a nice funding trade this morning. YM, some folks had a nice YM trade this morning. Is the YM going to go back and retest those highs? What do you think? Is the YM going to go back and retest those highs? Now it's MYM. It's not a lot of risk. If you put the magnet on, high of day, low of day, you could enter above 60, I suppose. You could enter above 60 if you thought it was going to go back up. Eventually what happens, well, certainly the momentum in the market is slowing down, right? Just because now we're getting later and further away from the open. Momentum is just slowing. And there's a lot of uncertainty in the news, and I think that's causing just not a lot of momentum in the market at the moment. It's almost as if the market is a crack addict, and the crack are tweets and comments. And right now the market is waiting for a tweet or a comment, right? So many times, like the market tries to do like clickbait, like actress dies after going into coma. And I never know who the actress is. I click on it and I don't even know who the person is. Who's that? It's someone I never heard of because they're like such a small, not famous, right? Actress or actor. It's just crazy. What's the NQ doing? NQ 0626. I'll show you what I did last night. Last night, look how the market opened. The market opened really crazy. And I went long right as the market, right as I wasn't even there, right here. Look how the market opened last night. It just shot down. I entered here and made $1,000 in one of my prop accounts that was hurting. I think the MYM might be going to test another new high. Let's try it. What do you say? Should we try it? We'll try it. What do you got to lose? $100 in a prop account. I'm going to
from
go to my
Trump on Truth
daughter's.
Social posting that
We'll go
Israel
walk her
never thought to be into the
dogs.
war with Iran. Just
Let me
repeating
ask
that
you,
Iran can never have a
would you
nuclear
rather do
weapon.
it earlier?
And in this Truth Social post, Trump as well says the results in Iran will be amazing. Says that if Iran's new leaders, brackets regime change, are smart, Iran can have a great and prosperous future.
Watching just MYM on this. See if we can get some upward movement. How about we'll stick around till 10:30? All right. I'll stick around till 10:30. Now, I did not readjust for the NQ on my gold charts. So you need, if you're going to trade NQ, you definitely want to readjust. Reverse continue, target of 50, not 100, and maybe a stop of 40, not 100. Okay, that's reasonable. And then on the magnet, also you want to label it NQ. I'm watching the YM. And then on the magnet, we're going to call it NQ, not GC, NGC. And we got to shrink that down a little bit. And I just want one target, 50 on the stop. I think the YM is going to try and make that new high. Up just when you think it's safe to get out of the water, it pulls you back in, right?
Order submitted.
Whoa, what the heck was that? So that was some sort of a news
CNN
trade.
reporting that US-Iran talks are planned for Wednesday in
Now,
Pakistan.
that should be a filled trade. It should be a filled trade. But I'm not seeing. Let's check something. I might be on the wrong account. Let's check and see if we're on the wrong account here. See, it's on the wrong account. That was on 29 that filled. That's weird. I didn't choose that account. All right, let's see what happens. There was some sort of weird burst. Let's see if it'll go back and test the high now. I think our stops are in the right place. This will be my last trade for the morning. See if we can get that test to the high or not. What I might do is combine both orders for the test of the high. But let's give it a chance, see if it finds some energy. See if it finds some energy. All right, as this is going, I want to let me close out our YouTube because we're going to get going soon. Thank you, everyone on YouTube. We've been streaming for hours this morning. So thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. So have a good rest of your day, everybody on the tube.